Hi. So we're back. I know it's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you without a dope beat. The step two, step two, step. Okay, focus. But I thought long and hard about what I want my content to look like, and I realized I'm not a monolith. I have different interests. And you're not gonna put baby in a corner, okay? Speaking of, sorry, you're gonna go with my train of thought with me. That movie is awful. Dirty Dancing. No one tell me that movie is a good movie. And it's also not gonna make me think that my good man Lumiere, I don't know what the actor's name is, who plays Lumiere, I think it's Jerry something, is the villain in this, okay? Because she's 16. What does she look like as a parent? What do I look like as a parent? Having her gallivanting with this hard toned man who was like 25 or however old Patrick Swayze was. No. No. No, 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 no. But anyway, let's talk about why we're here. Roll the bean footage. So we're here to talk about bullet journaling. Like I said, I'm gonna hold baby in the corner. Okay. I discovered bullet journaling when I was learning calligraphy and brush pen specifically, and I needed something to be creative because COVID was a lot, and as a nurse, I needed a creative outlet, and I just needed something to like create like a mindful practice for myself, and just kind of like separate from the whole mess that was COVID, and like just de-stress. Bullet journaling was created by writer Carol. It is a productivity system, but also allows for a mindfulness practice, which I thought was perfect. It helps you keep track of your personal patterns, organize your thoughts, feelings, emotions. You can use it to set and create goals that are actually actionable and help you move throughout the year. It can be as simple as pen to paper and like a highlighter, and you can be as artistic as having watercolors, gouache paint, stickers, pens, whatever it makes you want to do those spreads. When you start bullet journaling, as a helpful hint, it can be a little bit overwhelming. When I first started, it was a lot of like I was on the artistic side of it, not the simple, because I kind of was on the basics. I was like, oh, I wanted to be creative, so I just dashed over there. And it was a lot of like, oh, I use 2 journals a year, and one for one half and one for the other half. And then it was like, oh, I'm doing all these really creative spreads, and you feel overwhelmed and feel like you have to fit into that. And as I've been doing bullet journaling, I've learned, no, you don't. Do what works for you, boo. Okay? So for me, I am a yearly bullet journal girl. I only use 1 bullet journal a year. I really spend a lot of time on my yearly spreads, just so I can go back to using the spreads. Currently, right now, I am using, since I started actually in 2020, like I said, I've been using the Notebook Therapy. I don't know which book this is. These are really cute. They come with a little stapler, not stapler, paper clip that's individual to each design. I think I took it out. I did. Hold on. It's really unique to each design. It has ribbons for tabs, and you can close right here. And there's a cool elastic to close the book. It is 160 GSM, which is really good paper. It's really smooth, and it's very white, so you can't really tell. There we go. That's a little better. But next year, I decided to switch it up for 2025, and I am going to do sorry, it's really the light blurring it. Archer and Olive. As you can see, it's a little mermaid on the front. I thought it was so pretty. And I just love this color green. Most of the time, too, I just pick a color based on the year, but we'll get to that. And what I want to the vibe for the year. The Archer and Olive, I think it's also 160 GSM. It does have the elastic, and it comes with a pen holder. And it also is white paper. And I use dot grid notebooks, so it is trying to see if I can find a picture of like a dot grid. I'll show you, but it's just dots instead of lines. To let a little bit more creativity flow. Okay. So for essentially with the original bullet journal system that was created by Ryder Carroll, you just need an index, a key, a feature log, and you just kind of go from there and do like a task list using the keys that you developed, or like your daily logs, and just kind of like write everything down and kind of like keep track of what's going on. When creating a bullet journal, you do want to consider how much time do you have. Like I said, with me, if I'm doing like a last minute cover or a last minute setup, it's pretty much pen, paper, maybe like a couple highlighters and or like brush pens, and I kind of just make it quick, get some stickers to it, and call it a day. My yearly spreads, I definitely spend a lot of time on because I am using it for a year, so I do want to make sure I have enough time, that I spend enough time, and I want to go back and use them and use the spreads because it wants to be like attractive to you. Do want to consider with bullet journaling is time, and time is really big. Because I use a one in a year bullet journal, I definitely spend a lot of time on my yearly spreads. Those are the ones I always going to come back to, and they're like little fun stuff or like things I want to keep track of. And then also in partnership with time, you want to think, how simple do you want your journal? Do you want to just use one color highlighter or like a marker pen and paper, just write down everything, add a couple stickers if you want, or just leave it that way. So sometimes too, it just depends on the time. It also depends on how artistic you want to make it or how simple you want to make it. You also want to consider too, what do you want to focus on this year? For me personally, I have like 3 spreads I stick to that are definitely staying in a bullet journal. My vision board, my goals. You can also, and like my self-care tracker. A lot of the spreads that I've seen are health trackers, which I'm going to do this year. Reading, which I have done. I had to redo it. So I didn't think I ended up putting a new reading tracker in because I already wrote everything down in the old one. It was so annoying. Anyway. Some people do 25 and 25. So 25 things that you want to do in the year of 2025. And a year in Polaroids, which I also do. Because I just love taking pictures. Like I said, not a monolith. I like taking pictures. So put them in a book. To the bullet journal. When creating your spreads, you do want to think about design. You want to think about materials, colors, themes, quotes that you want to use, fonts. And that's really about the basis of it. So I'm going to go through my 2023 journal. I can show you a little bit of my 2024 because there are different aspects that I changed around. And yeah. So this is my 2025, like I said, it was purple. So you know what? Let's also change the angle of this baby. Oh, here is my 2023 journal. And I figured we'd change this perspective to make it a little bit easier to see and go through all the spreads. So I just, like I said, put cover stickers on it. It's like, let this year be the year you go after courage. I put dandelions in. And just like elf, I wanted to connect. So when you do spreads, when you do your spreads, you want to have some kind of connectivity. So I definitely connect with color and like certain design elements. So the dandelions was one for me, and the color blue. So I did my name in the blue. And I always start each year off with a quote. 1 year I did relax, relate, release from Different World. Oh, it was great. Because I was binging like the whole season. Like I think it was my second time actually. I was just very into that show. Still am. But I said, let your face be bigger than your fear. Some people have the grid spacing guide. This was developed from a bullet journal creator called Amanda Rachel Lee. She also has her own bullet journals that she sells, as well as a digital planner for people who want to be more digital. And then I have like my 2023 like goals. I'm definitely gonna do a video on like how I make my goal spreads in terms of like how I develop them for the year. I have future logs, which is just the year with stickers and important dates and appointments. Then I have a few fun spreads. So I have a Disney watch list where I just keep track of all the Disney movies I have watched, and it kind of grows as more movies are added to the list. And I have a year in Polaroids. So I started I was doing a travel contract in Maryland till February, and then I moved back to temporarily to back home to do an assignment in Massachusetts. So this was my first day at Mass General, and I was still there, and that was just one of those pictures. I went to France and England in June. I met Jackie Einander at Nessa Myricks in July. So I was taking like little cute pictures of things. Started my new job in August, but that was when I did my first day in the OR at work. I went to see Beyonce in August, so that was really cool. And then this is my first year doing a bullet journal, and I decided ever since I was never gonna not do one, because every time I've done one, it has stuff has come to fruition from it. It's crazy. So I did go to France and London. I was able to get my first apartment, and live on my own for the first time. These are just works in the making. Eventually I want to do like a calligraphy kind of business, but all in due time. All in due time. I have a docs and books, and that is where I just do books and documentaries that I have watched or read. I don't think I finished a book, but I was reading. I just never wrote them down. I never finished them. And I do a self-care tracker. The layout for these are definitely works in the making, because I don't know how. I have to figure out a better way to do this that works for me. But then each month I have a monthly spread. So I'll have a cover. I'll do my calendar, notes. At the end of each journal entry, I do a month in review. If I'm going on a trip, I will do a to-do list with the flight information, all that jazz, the itinerary and summaries, and I'll put pictures in after. And then yeah, I just keep doing that for the rest of the months as they go by. I also put in here like, oh Lord. I also put in anything that I've to keep track of, comparing notes. Like I was looking for my apartment. When I was looking for my apartment, I wrote in here like what the different pros and cons were that I was looking for to help me make my apartment decision. So that's what this slide was. This is the cover page for March. This is for April. This was for, I went to France, so I wanted France and London, like I said, so I went to France and London, like I said, so I wanted to with France and London, so I did my spreads there. I did like my to-do list, my itineraries, stuff I need to pack, my summary of the trip, and then I just took pictures there, so I wanted to put that in there, just a little reminder. My birthday's in July, so I always do a fun little horoscope / I'm a Leo type spreads, which are always really fun to do and like think of. In this September I did a Harry Potter one. It's one of my favorites, actually. I did a waterfalls tab. It took a lot of planning, to be honest, to get this the way I wanted it to go. But yeah, so that was spreads from last year, 2023. And the thing to know is, like, don't let what I'm doing be like crazy intimidating. Like, I can't do that. I can't do that. Honestly, I can show you how things I could have taken away and made this a little simpler. So this is my redo from last year. I kept my quote simple. My potential is limitless. I walk in faith and stay focused on what God has prepared for me, was my quote. I got some stickers from last year. So I did my goals page. I did my Disney. I honestly took some of them out. So like the book and documentaries page, I didn't even bother putting them in because it was a busy spread and it was just too much. I also did my bullet journal. I did my 2024 vision board again because I love that. And again, we're focusing on this part, but it's gonna come. I'm a one-track mind person sometimes. I just need to focus on like one thing and get that habit going and then keep going to the other habits. So I did self-care. I wanted to do like finances. And so like with my goals, I break them down, like I said, into the personal, financial, health, and what's the other one? Business. So I break my vision board up into that kind of segment as well. I have gotten back into the gym, so this has been really great. I did go back to London and I went to see the Shits and Gigs podcast. They came to America and I was able to get autographs, so that was really cool. Which is why I'm not getting rid of the vision board. I think it's so cool. For this year, I had looked up affirmations that I wanted to incorporate into my journal. So January was I am a positive, open person. I tried to also make the theme kind of match with the quote, but it didn't always happen. But like I said, you just need a colored marker or highlighter, a pen, and just some stickers. And it's that simple. You don't need to like draw a bunch of stuff and do a bunch of things. So a lot of the first half of this new journal has all been simplified from what I had in the previous journal that had gotten wet. So I went on a trip, so I took color, so I took a little collage for that. I think was it Puerto Rico? Yeah. For a friend of mine's birthday. February, I had a teapot theme, so I just did that. So, like I said, it's just really simple. And stickers and highlighters, to be honest. That's literally what everything was. Moving forward, because I had to remake a lot of my spreads, which was kind of great actually, because it allowed me to go back and really look at like what was going on and what was I doing. I love the spread for this year. It's like the best. It's so cool. I got these from follow her on Instagram. I can put her in. But she's like a shop that's only open at specific times of month. You kind of have to join her Patreon. It's a little bit excessive, but I just really wanted the sunflowers for that year. This is my trip from Vegas. And sometimes I just try to do what I'm doing that year. So that August I had nothing planned but the tour. So I put that as my spread. And September is like a school thing because kids are in school. The end of the year kind of get a little bit lazy. I'm not gonna lie. But I think I was also late. I didn't realize how close to the end of the month I was, and my work schedule was kind of hectic. So I was like, ooh, awkward. But like, I redeemed myself with November. And yeah, so that's really about it. I try to cut this short because, attention spans are only so long. That's really it. I just want to show like a quick version of what a bullet journal looks like and what can be done. I'm also going to try to get a video out on just creating goals and goal setting, and how I set up my goals for 2024, and how I try to take the goals and for the year and put them into my monthly spreads, just to kind of be like, hey, stay on track of that. This is the goal that you want to meet. So let's focus on that. But that really is it. Be good to yourselves. Pour into yourselves. If you can't pour into yourself, you can't pour out into others. You know, pour into others. Love on yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.